Yo, we back again, man. We're gonna be talking about the shortest recession in U.S. history. So according to the National Bureau of Economic Research, I don't know if that's another department of the Fed. My first time ever hearing about that bureau, but
wait, what's that department again?
National Bureau of Economic Research. You heard of that department?
I've seen some articles based off of some of their studies, but I can't say that I've actually paid attention to them.
I just say the Fed. Okay, the damn Fed.
They all fall under that same category.
Right? So they stated that the contraction lasted just 2 months from February 2020 to the following April. Who believes this?
Wait, stop. Time out. Rewind. Hold
on. Right. That's why they say the shortest.
Before I even get to that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Q from Stock Street University, along with my brother Jay Wise, and here we're just talking about our perspective on economics and finances. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to be talking on said survey from the National Bureau of Economic Research.
Yeah, it sounds fancy.
All right,
it sounds fancy.
It sounds legit.
I would like to work for them. If y'all hiring and sponsoring, holla at your boy. Since everybody got jobs available,
But before we do get into this, we do ask that you go ahead, smash the like button, and go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And at any point in time, if you have questions or if you have a different topic of conversation, or even if you have a different perspective than we do, feel free to comment in the comment section below. And we'll definitely be glad to address some of the comments and conversation. So with that being said, let's get back to the fancy people. National Bureau of Economic Research.
Yeah.
They're saying from February till
2020. April
of 2020?
Yes. 2 months.
And that was so before we even get, all right, hold on. So I want you guys to understand what typically acknowledges the research is a series of quarters is what they're expecting, right? Is how they explain it, right? A series of quarters that show a great decline.
Significant decline, yeah.
Right. So you're telling me from February to April was the only point in time we've seen a significant decline, considering the fact that towards the end of 2020, even into 2021, we've seen a lot of companies either file bankruptcy and or completely shut down. But this ended in April?
April. Unless, are they talking about the market as a whole?
Okay, that I can understand because, although the shutdown happened in March, which was economically in the markets a beautiful day for me. Everything was on sale. I loved it. But so a lot of companies were able to pivot and regrow back in April. So it happened in March. April, May, June was a great climb back season for a lot of companies. So if you're looking at it from a totality perspective, then I understand. If you're looking at it from a quantitative perspective and you're just looking at the number of companies that didn't do so well, if you're averaging that out, okay. But if you're looking at it from the perspective of, well, the government had to pour a crap ton of money. And when I say a crap ton of money, I'm talking about capital T and a capital R back into the economy just to get things flowing. So if we take that into consideration, right, would we still not consider this a recession?
Recession, right. Because they had the lower interest rates, right? Lower interest rate, pump a lot of stimulus into the market, right? Into businesses. A lot of these businesses were stealing grants and some of those stimulus, which we're going to get into in our next video. But
you had forbearances.
Yeah, forbearance, moratoriums. I don't know if they canceled.
Moratoriums, deferments.
Right.
You had a lot of this stuff was going on. So, I mean, things weren't right come April, right? Things still ain't right today.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Right.
We
still have a supply chain issue. We have A ton of issues, man. A ton of issues.
A ton of issues. I mean, we're looking at what? We're still dealing with a chip shortage, which is in fact impacting the entire tech sector, from cars to phones to you name it.
Can't get a PlayStation right now. I'm still trying to hunt one. and I ain't trying to pay
above market value.
I ain't trying to pay
300% markup.
I am not paying $1,000 for no. I want a retail price of $399. All right, I ain't paying more than that.
right, exactly.
I don't even have time to be playing anyway, so.
I mean, so right now, when you're looking at, if they're saying the recession started in February, ended in April, and I don't know what they're going based off of. I'm gonna need to get some more comprehension as to the information that they're using to determine this recession.
I think I could pull that article up to where we could get a little more details on what they meant by the shortest recession in U.S. history, because I did look at the data, but then I was like, you know what? Let me hit up Q. I wanna get his perspective on this information. Yeah. So I think it was released by CNBC, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, here it is. So, all right. While I'm pulling this up, do you think that we are more so in a Great Depression instead of a recession?
I wouldn't say a depression. The reason why I won't say a depression is because the way that everything has played out, between the stimulus that was pumped into the economy, between unemployment bonuses and boosts, between a vast number of people learning to pivot and learn to find new ways of making income, both legally and unfortunately some people doing it illegally, from whatever the case may be. Not that I would condone anyone doing anything illegal. Nor do I partake in anything illegal. Just get that out there real quick. But people do have the money, right? A lot of people have the money, whether it came from stimulus, whether it came from, unemployment, whatever the case is. A lot of people are hoarding the money. A lot of people aren't really spending as much, or a lot of people are looking for more discounts or cheaper prices and shopping around more. So I wouldn't call it a Great Depression, considering the fact that the money's there. It's just not being pumped back into the economy the way that it normally would be.
So the more we talk about it, for some reason, it's just so reminiscent of the events prior and leading up to the crash in 2008, right? So when you said that people do have the money, we do have a lot of, I would say, entities, right? People who are taking advantage of these low interest rates, right? So they're taking out loans, right? Massive loans, and using that as leverage, right? To whatever it is that they're going to invest in, right? Whether they're just keeping a little capital for safekeeping, and then getting a little risky with some of the other capital. So the reason why I say it's kind of reminiscent of 2008, because we saw that similar behavior where interest rates were lower around 2000, I would say 2000, from 2001 to 2006, I believe. 2001 to 2006. And then you had a lot of the prime loans that were getting dried out, right? So you had institutions trying to find another way to make money. So what they would do was mix the prime loans with the subprime loans and package them together and sell them to other banks and whatnot. So that's what we were seeing in 2008. I know we don't have that portion occurring right now.
Now, also a difference between 2008 and what's happening now, a lot of the banks and financial institutions that provided finances for these homes, they actually, instead of reducing requirements, they actually increased requirements in order to be able to lend out capital. Gotcha. So, they put themselves in a position where in order for us to give you this loan, we wanted to know that you had some form of method of being able to pay that back. Whereas opposed to
I think I lost you, Q.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, I got a phone call, kind of almost messed up the stream there. But yeah, man.
You
can hear me and everything, right?
Yeah, you still on?
Yeah, we still on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. All right, so here is one of the data that they dropped. So according to the National Bureau of Economic Research, and the contraction just lasted 2 months, from February 2020 to the following April. Through the drop featured a staggering 31.4% GDP plunge. In the second quarter of the pandemic scarred year, it also saw a massive snapback the following period, with previously unheard of policy stimulus boosting output by 33.4%. In determining a trough occurred in April 2020. Inside joke about how often they use the word trough, right? But anyway, in determining that a trough occurred in April 2020, the committee did not conclude that the economy has returned to operating at normal capacity. So they at least admitted that there was some data that they didn't include in this analysis. So what about the fact that we've seen a lot of companies during the epicenter of the crash, right? During the early portions of the crash. Well, I wouldn't say the early portions, probably maybe a 2-3 months in, that disappeared and never came back. I'm talking about the businesses that really, because, you know, a lot of people think it's these huge corporations, these enterprises that hire the most people, but in actuality, it's the little small businesses that employs the most, and it was really small businesses that were impacted the most, and a lot of them did not come back. That's why if you walk through the mall, you're seeing vacant retail spaces. Right.
And you know, even in you know, regular communities, right? If you walk down a regular community, you walk down the street, you know, you'll see a lot of mom and pop shops no longer operational.
Right.
You know, some of them just couldn't withstand the economic crisis that took place. You know, some of them didn't get to file for PPP. Some of them didn't get to file for SBAs. You know, so a lot of them missed out on a lot of opportunity or weren't eligible for certain opportunities for whatever reason. And because of that, you had a lot of those companies or businesses that were designed and operating within communities providing a high number of occupancy as far as employments, that just took a major drop, went out of business, no sign of them again. And then you also had major conglomerates that people are familiar with. You know, what was it? There was a retail clothing store that just went out of business not during the pandemic.
Was it was it H&M? No, it wasn't H&M.
Not H&M. I want to say Forever 21 was prior to.
No, Charlotte Russe. No, not Charlotte Russe. Was it Charlotte Russe? No, not Charlotte Russe.
I can't remember
I think
it
right
is.
I can't remember
offhand.
Is it Forever?
Forever 21 did file chapter 7. They did the bankruptcy thing, and they went through shutting down a lot of stores. I know Hertz
is still going through that right now.
Right, Hertz filed bankruptcy, had to go through a whole situation. I want to say Enterprise had to file bankruptcy recently as well.
I didn't see that one, but yeah, that's interesting. Wow.
You know, so like there's a lot of companies out there, you know, that they're taking major hits that people don't realize. And it's one of those things where you don't realize how much it hurts the economy until it happens.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So that's real interesting.
As a
We're
matter
at
of
the
fact,
15.
We're at the 15? All right, cool.
Yeah. So join us in the next video. Make sure you like, subscribe, smash that like button, comment if you need to. We like to hear y'all opinions and viewpoints. It's real important. This is how we kind of create this hive mind, right? And visit stockstreetuniversity.com.
It was Neiman Marcus, by the way. Neiman Marcus.
Oh, it was Neiman Marcus?
Neiman Marcus in 2020, they filed.
Man, good.
Not good.
Yo, you ever shopped at Neiman? It's mad expensive, yo. I'm good.
I have.
I'm good on that.
Yeah, I found the list, actually. Wait, True Religion? What?
Nah, but yo, check us out in the next video. We'll be talking about benefits ending and grants. Ooh, that's gonna be a deep conversation. Peace.
Big.